Hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. Thank you for being here. This is the audio version. This is the version that is aimed at the folks who are multitaskers and who want to build their imagination, strengthen those muscles, those important muscles. Really, when you stop and think about it, you want to manifest. Imagination is your number one tool. And unfortunately, just about everything around us kind of weakens our imagination. And so that being the case, you got kind of an interesting situation going on. You would like to manifest, you would like to create more in your life, and yet everything around you takes that power away. You spend a lot of time watching images on screens of one kind or another, and the more often you do that, the research says your imagination becomes weaker. Of course, that's the plan. They don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you to be able to imagine a better life or a new life or a different life. So that's the plan. Again, that's why they call it the TV stuff and the movie stuff programming, right? Okay, you know that. So let's get to enhancing your imagination. We have two rows. Bottom row, the middle card is where we start. Top row, middle card is where we end. Let's get to it. Oracle card, bottom row, round and round, round and round. Even when you say that, it sounds so repetitive, so boring, so pointless. Round and round, just going round and round, just in a big circle. And very often life feels that way. Now, even under normal circumstances, and what we've been living through over the past 3 years has not been normal, will never be normal, hopefully. But even outside of the last 3 years, life has kind of a redundancy to it. Now, to a degree, that's not bad. That's dependability, stability, so on and so forth. But it can also be really tough, very boring, pointless, actually ungrounded, even though there's that familiarity, right? We've been here before, we've been here before, we've been here before. So when it came to taking a look at this stuff, I'm thinking, okay, round and round, round and round, round and round. First thing that comes to mind is a dog chasing his tail. And that's kind of how it feels these days, doesn't it? Most especially. Just a lot of movement, a lot of racing, and doing nothing. And then I had an idea. I said, wow, instead of chasing his tail, T-A-I-L, how about chasing his tail, T-A-L-E? You are chasing your story. The story that was given to you, the story that you've been programmed with, frankly, and that's why the powers that be do not want you to think for yourself, do not want you to have a good imagination, because it works against them. So when I'm looking at this card round and round, I am following the idea of chasing your tail, your story. Let's go to the left side of the first row here. Ace of Cups. Ooh, I love it. What a great way to start. Yep. Aces are always the beginning. No matter what suit you have, they're always the beginning. And aces always have to do primarily with you. Of course, we're doing a manifestation reading, so all of this stuff is aimed in your direction. It makes it a different reading. But nevertheless, talking about self-love here. Very, very important. We talk about it all the time. And yet, take a look at your life. How well you're doing in that department. Most of us still have some major weaknesses. And the world around us does not enhance that. Intentionally, of course. So the first card, bottom row, Ace of Cups, round and round. You're going to be chasing your tail, your story, T-A-L-E, not T-A-I-L. Well, you want to change that. First of all, you got to get to loving yourself. Loving yourself centers you, gives you a stability that nothing else can give. That gives you strength. That's the next card, strength. Very, very important information here. Fortitude, inner strength, patience, and compassion. Those last two are very, very important. Because up until this point, you have had a you've had a self-doubt. You may even run into a question of maybe suppressed urges. You really have not been functioning up to your full potential, let's put it that way, which is exactly what they want you to do. They do not want you to have an imagination. They don't want you to love yourself. They don't want you to operate at your full potential. That's headaches. They don't want that. But if you get to self-love, you begin to work on that. You have the strength, you have the mindset, you're willing to put in the effort. You can quit chasing your tail, T-A-L-E. And when you stop doing that, you start doing something mighty, mighty important. You get the star card, you begin to heal, you have hope, you have guidance, inspiration. Things come to life. This is a very, very important healing card, the star card. Very nice to have. But it all begins with you deciding to quit chasing your tail, T-A-L-E, as opposed to T-A-I-L, right? You love yourself. That love for yourself gives you inner strength, guidance. That allows you to heal. And then the final card, the bottom row, is the Empress. The Empress, well, yeah, she's fertility. You look at her, you can tell. But there's a sense of protection. There's a sense of abundance with her. Something that you may not be feeling at this point. You could be, maybe have a creative block, feeling very insecure. Infertility. In fact, isn't it interesting that what's making so much news these days, among all the other things, is a lack of fertility in the world. Men and women both. And the prescription, if you will, for that is something that makes women and men even less potent in that regard. So it's very clear that if you want to quit chasing your tail, you have to get to love of yourself, get a good solid foundation. Don't expect it all in one day. Work in that direction. You have the strength to do it. You can heal yourself. And then you can really begin to look at your potential with the Empress. Let's go up the second row. The World. Nice card. Nice card, because it talks about completion, talks about integration, talks about a wholeness, and that's really what will get you to quit chasing your tail, T-A-L-E. Once you develop this sense of completeness, this sense of wholeness, this unity or integration with yourself, ooh, man, that's powerful good. That's powerful good. That's excellent energy to be added to the whole thing, because what all of these cards up to this point will do is get you to your Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups, of course, is fulfillment, satisfaction, getting what you want. You haven't been able to do that because you've been feeling like you've been taking for granted one way or another. It could be friends, family, could be society in general. You can definitely say society in general is kind of taking you for granted. You're just a number. It's keeping you from this Nine of Cups. But this, again, cups are love, right? Well, it's not just love for other people. In fact, you can't love other people unless you love yourself. So we go back to the Ace of Cups. The strength that it will give you to quit chasing your tail, the healing it will give you so you don't have to chase your tail, the abundance that you will have so you don't have to chase your tail anymore. As you continue on with the world, the energy, the unity, you can get to your Nine of Cups. You can do this. There's no question about it. Let's move on. Next card over, Five of Wands. Here's been the problem. So many things going on in just a normal life. Forget the last 3 years. Just in a normal life, there's so many things that kind of steal your energy away. Bickering, pettiness, squabbles. It's pointless. And it's gotten to the point maybe where you were agreeing to disagree. But it's been a lot of wasted energy. A lot of wasted energy. It's taking away your enthusiasm for life, because that's what wands are all about, is enthusiasm, positivity. And you're aware of the fact that so much of what you've done in your life, so much of what has been placed on your plate by other people, has taken away your energy, taken away your enthusiasm. You're saying no more, no more. And here's the perfect balance to that Five of Wands, and in fact, practically anything else now that I'm thinking about it. And it's the Sun card. Yeah. Illumination, clarity, warmth, success. You know, and can do something about it. You have the power, you have the vision, you have the sight. You're able to focus. Your perspective is clearer. There's not as much doubt. I mean, things just get better and brighter with the Sun card. That's the energy you want to tap into, and you have to tap into it. The first card tells you self-love, self-love. So you can build your strength, so you can heal, so you can feel abundance, so you can step forward toward your Nine of Cups, and you can stop the wasted energy. You can unplug from that drain on your solar or your sun battery. Right now, here's the final card. This is a vice versa card in reverse, by the way. It is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is very simple. Normally, the Knight of Swords would be incisiveness, intelligence, acting with certainty. There is some point of information, some truth, some inspiration, some insight that opens up the door for you. And all of a sudden, voila. It's almost like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz when she lands, after being picked up by the tornado, landing down in the land of Oz. Boom, she opens up the door. It's all color. It's beautiful. She lived in a black and white world. Now it's all color. It's kind of the effect that the Knight of Swords has. However, you're not having it right now. You're working on it. It is in the future. And in fact, that's sort of kind of what you're waiting on, I suppose. Yeah, you're waiting for this sense of inspiration. You're waiting for this door to open up, just like Dorothy, Wizard of Oz. That can happen. But to underline that it can happen, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. It's going to give you everything else, the strength, the healing, the abundance, the big perspective, the love that you're looking for. You can lead a better, brighter future. It's not going to be perfect, so don't look for that, but it can be a whole lot better, and you know it. You know it. So, round and round, chasing your tail, T-A-L-E, chasing your story. Quit doing it. You know what to do. Change your story. Love yourself. All the rest of the parts and pieces will fall into place. Nice. So that's the reading for today. Back tomorrow again with another reading for you, manifestation reading. Do a brand new one every day, 365. Hope you're with me tomorrow. If not, as usual, I always wish you peace and blessings.